Okay, I'm going to try some Flint Ridge from Mike Tufts. Yep, this was a gift. Heat treated Flint Ridge. Now, it was already bifaced before I got it, so that's why it's bifaced. It's from the Roy Miller Knapping 2024. It's got some cracking, see that? But this side looks okay. So we're going to see. I did take a few pieces off. I don't know. When I first got it. No, not when I first got it. I don't know. At some point, I did take a few pieces off. I took a few flakes off. Just to test it. I don't remember when I did it. But it felt really crackly. Yeah. Flint Ridge is usually really crackly. At least in my experience. What does that mean? That means it will step fracture, it'll crush, it will snap in half. It does all the crackly things that you can think of. Yeah. It's got cracks and it's going to get crackly. Yeah. Double trouble. I'm taking off some width. Yes. This is a pretty good size piece. 6 inches or thereabouts. I will be doing lots of grinding, lots of abrading on this one, probably. But yeah, I've got to make sure I thin the ends down first and take out those cracks. And then we can see what we can do with it. It's a little 5-ounce bopper. Nothing too drastic. And I'm going to take it easy on this one. I'm not going to do anything drastic. Yeah, I'm in the take it easy mode. I'm not going to do the intense sweat stage thing. No. I don't know, those cracks are healed. I think they're, on this side they're healed. That's a pretty common thing to see with the Flint Ridges. Healed cracks in the natural stone. Or the stone in the natural state. I drank a bunch of water before the video, so the phlegmy stuff should clear up any minute. Yeah, I think I'm getting dehydrated. Yeah, it does that too. I don't know what I'm going to make out of it yet. I think I mentioned that, right? I'm just going to thin down the ends and take out the cracks and then see. Hopefully I'll get some good flakes for arrowheads. And not just a bunch of crud flakes and one biface and one point. How do I ensure that I've got good flakes for arrowheads? There's no guarantee. There's no way to ensure. Just gotta look for opportunities. If an opportunity presents itself for a large flake and I don't see any danger in doing it, I'll do it. What dangers could there be lurking in the flint knapping? If I take a large flake into a cracked area, it's always dicey, for one thing. But this one worked out okay. See, there was a crack there, but it's not all the way through. That's a good, these will make little bitty arrowheads, you know. Or I can include those in a box of flakes, perhaps. I stopped selling boxes of flakes. Yeah, because I need them. I'm in the land of no rocks. Except for slate. And stuff you can grind into tools. If I was a Native American up here back in the day, I'd just make everything out of bone. Except for my, wood chopping tools. You can pick up almost any kind of stone for that. As long as it can crack open, you can get an edge on it. But yeah, you can just work with small pieces of wood that only take your breaking force to break it up into pieces and stuff. How do you make arrows without stone tools? Well, it is hard. You can shape wood with bone tools, but it's not that easy because the wood is still green and wet in most cases when you're working with it, and the bone picks up some of that moisture, so it gets softer. How do I know these things? I don't know. Same with antler. Antler will pick up moisture from green wood and the edge will get soft and it won't work as good or as well. Okay. Yeah, it's very crackly. See that? Sorry, Mike. I'm going to make this very narrow. Yeah, I can run long flakes on Flint Ridge, but they break up. And I don't want to be hitting it too hard because it's got existing cracks. If I make it more narrow, the flakes don't need to travel as far, so that means I don't need to hit as hard. Everything, if you can figure out, or if you can picture in your mind that large flakes require large forces, long flakes require large forces, then you'll know what you can do with the stone. Can you make long flakes with it if it's really crackly like this? Yeah, but it's going to crack it. This stuff does not like to be hit hard. It likes pressure flaking and for you to take it easy. It likes to be thick too. But you can notch on this really well, as far as I remember. I haven't worked it in a long time, but I think the last time I worked some of this, I was able to notch it really easily. You can cheat and notch these really easily. Make little serrations really easily. This stuff works almost as easily as Obsidian as far as flakeability and notchability. And the edges don't crunch as much as Obsidian, so that's a plus. It's not crunchy, it's crackly. I don't know, there's a difference between crunchy and crackly. It's difficult to explain. But this leaves a nice sharp uncrushed edge. Whereas Obsidian, sometimes it gets really crunchy and crushy. But this will be crackly in that it's going to be irregular. Sharp and irregular. But I'm not an expert in this. I just remember things. At one time I had a bunch of flint ridge that I got from a friend of mine who had some stuff that was subpar. A bunch of it, you know, 2 inches, around 2 inches wide and long. Bunches and bunches. So he gave me all those little pieces. I was able to make a bunch of Cahokia points and stuff. Very easily notched. That's what I remember. It leaves sharp edges even with a bobber. But it cracks. The flakes will not travel very easily. When they do travel, they travel far, but they don't travel easily. I missed it. Where did it break? Yeah, see, it broke in half. So it's snapping halfish. My diagnosis so far is it's going to be snapping halfish all the way through this. But you got some good flakes down there. It's not snapping half. Yeah, some of them are okay. But that one should have been okay too. There was nothing in it, nothing in the way. It wasn't a big deal either. I didn't hit it really hard. It should have been one big flake, but it wasn't. Yeah, I'm not going to go through a sweat stage with this. I'm just going to take it easy. You don't always have to have a sweat stage. That's only when you're going for the gusto and trying to get as thin as possible, as quick as possible. Yeah. Okay, come on. I knew you could do it, but it's very crunchy. It's inconsistent. Yeah. The heat treatment probably makes it a lot more consistent. I think I have napped this raw too. The flint ridge, I'm pretty sure that my friend gave me some raw pieces as well. I had some slabs of this too from somebody else. Yeah, I think I'm starting to get diminishing returns with the direct percussion, so I'm going to switch over here in a minute. I still see some cracking, so I'm going to keep going until I don't see the cracks. But I'm not going to try anything fancy. Like up here, I was trying to get it nice and smooth, but the end of the flake doesn't want to cooperate. It's pretty typical, I suppose, of heat treat. I gotta watch the snap and halfish thing too. So nothing drastic. As you can see, I don't hit right away, so I'm kind of, moving in on it subconsciously. I want to hit it first strike, but the subconscious goes, no, just barely a light little tap. That's all you need. That's all you need. You don't need to go all crazy. Yeah, the harder that I'm planning on hitting, the more careful the hit has to be. It's got to be just right, because a hard hit gone wrong, you know what happens. Some people say, well, that messes me all up because you always say, don't be afraid to hit hard. Yeah, it's going to mess you up. That's why you're watching me do it. You do need to hit hard sometimes. But you got to be really careful when you do it. I'm not hitting this really hard. Like I said, I'm taking it easy. But there are some strikes that are much harder than others, relatively speaking. But I have not hit this really hard at all yet. I don't think I will either. I could take a big flake across. Nope, I'm not going to do it. Nope. This is going to look like I made it with natural tools. Why does it look that way? I mean, natural tools give it a certain look. Yeah, for some reason, when you're using a soft, like an antler billet or whatever, I can't personally get a big, deep flake. It's usually peeling off little flakes. I mean, thin flakes with the soft, direct percussion tool. Although you can get deep, thick flakes with antler. At this stage, I usually don't. And I don't want to because it grabs too much. And it can just pull everything all to pieces. Yeah. That was supposed to go further. Yeah, so the antler will pull more than the copper. Copper pulls too, of course. Steel pulls the least. But it also bounces. Steel will bounce, which is not good. See, it cracks the edge too much. Get a ring crack. Those little bites are called ring cracks, if you want to know. Just in case you want to know. Inquiring minds always want to know. I know. I know you want to know. Some people are saying, I bet you some people are thinking, well, come on, let's do at least one big flake. I'm holding my breath the whole time. I need a breather with a big flake. I know, I hear you. I'm not going to. You're going to have to go to the other room and do some breathing exercises because this is going to be torture for you. Yep. So how did they used to make these things in the past with antler? How did they used to make these things thin? One word. Practice. Yeah. The more practice you have, the thinner you can get them. That's all there is to it. There's no mystery. There's no magic. Yeah, that was good. That was one of the harder hits. Yeah. But I can get that hit easily without hesitating with indirect percussion. You know, relatively easily. I don't have to worry about sneaking up on it. I'd rather miss than hit too hard. See, these snap. They should be holding together, but it is kind of thin, right? Yeah, it's pretty thin. I'll cut it some slack. Alright, so that's about as far as I want to go with the bopper. Yeah. I can go into the sweat stage and go thinner, but remember? No sweat stage on this one. Okay? Okay. So if we're gonna go into the indirect percussion. The grinding needs to be a little bit finer. Because we're working with a smaller surface area on the percussion tool. It needs to make good contact with the surface. Okay. Is this ready? It's ready. It looks like I ground down these tools before I started, huh? Yeah, I did. I did it earlier this morning. Yeah. Okay. Are they going to be sticky flakes? I think they are. Some of them. Are there always sticky flakes, or there's some material that doesn't have sticky flakes? Yeah, there's some material where the flakes pretty much just peel off. They don't stick there. You don't have to pry them off. Yeah. That's the good stuff. I still have cracking. I still have that existing crack there, but I think as I thin it, it'll go away. Now there's a... This meets that, right? See that? So that could go all the way through, but it could be healed mostly. See that? That's going all the way through both sides. So that'll mess up your day if you want to thin it a lot. See, because some of it is not healed. Some of it is not healed. And if it gets really thin, those not healed areas are going to open up. Because that's just the nature of it. It wants to crack along those cracks. Yeah, they're weak spots. Obviously. And it would be a shame if I were to thin it too much and have it crack right there. Terrible shame. Yeah. No, I'm not supposed to do that. Whenever I have an intact flake, I can always try to re-hit it if it didn't do what I wanted. If it did not do what I wanted it to do, I can always try again. Make sure there's no dust in there. What did it do? Yeah, it did continue on this side better than this side. Still, no sweating. Yeah. Relatively easy peasy. Yeah, it flakes well. Yes, it does. I am worried about the crack though. Yeah. I'm just going to keep it thick. Try not to stress that area too much. Although I'm seeing just how strong that area is, I'm focusing on it right now. It does worry me, but not too much. Yeah. Not too much at this stage because it's still really thick. I could narrow it down by removing more of it this way, but that's only if I wanted to get it thinner. I would probably just take as much of this side off as I could without getting it too narrow. Yeah, some of that is deep. If I could try to figure out which side is better. This side is probably better. No? I don't know. I can't tell. The side with the most healed areas is the best side to keep. So I may keep this side more than this side. Are you revealing your thought processes? Gotcha. It's the general strategy. It's not, strategizing is not the flint napping. The flint napping is the hitting and the positioning. The general strategy, that's not the flint napping. Anyone can do that. The spectators can do that. They can go, well, what I would do is I would do blah, blah, blah. I know flint nap, but what I would do is I'd remove more of the ugly side that's more correct. I'd remove the worst part of the crack first. That's what I would do. I'm not a napper, but that's what I would do. See, anyone can do that. You might say, yeah, well, you've got to be a napper to know what you can or cannot suggest. Really? That does help, but it's not necessary. You may be wrong a lot, but nappers are not always right. Yeah. Just because I've been napping a long time doesn't mean I'm always right. If I choose this side as the best side, I might be wrong. This crack right here might be really deep where this one isn't. Although it looks like they might join together. That'd be bad. But I don't know. I can't see through the rock. I don't have X-ray vision. So your guess is as good as mine. Yep. Crackly, crackly. Yeah, see? There's really no crunching going on. It just breaks up into little crackly pieces. Why does abrading help? I don't know. It might not actually help all that much. It might not be all that necessary, but it feels like it's working to grind it a lot. Yeah, so I will continue to do it. Besides, it helps me take a little breather. Sitting there abrading it, I get to take a little breather. No. When the flakes don't go anywhere, that's no. Not supposed to. I don't know. Grind's easy. Yeah. Maybe if I hit some of those step fractures. No, it gets too crackly. Yeah. Well, let's see what happens on that one. It's probably going to get crackly too. And then sometimes it dives in, so yeah. Quit that. Don't do that. You're not supposed to. I really don't know. Yeah. I think it's dicey either way. Whichever side I favor is going to be dicey. That was the hardest hit of the whole session so far. And it didn't go that far. Yeah, it tells you there's some... It doesn't like to clear the obstacles. Yeah, there's some obstacles right there in this area. Of course, in the middle, for two reasons. Just because the middle is always harder, but somehow it seems it's a little bit crunchy right there. Yeah, that was the hardest hit of the whole session right there. That was equally as hard, but I'm not going to hit it any harder than that. No. There's no need to hit it harder than that. Yeah, I'm going to leave it kind of thick. Alright, now if I can get that out. These flakes are traveling pretty good, actually. You never know. You never know until you let it go. Just go for it. Sometimes it works. Yeah. Voila. For that little bitty little step. Yeah, that would have ruined my day. Just that little bitty step fracture. I know from experience. That's right on that crack. Yeah. I'm gonna hit it again right on the crack too. See, I can't depend on long flakes from this area because I gotta skip over the crack. But I can remove some lumps from that area, right? Hopefully, I could go with the crack. I can do that, yes. Like I did this one, in the same direction of the crack instead of going across it. Yeah. Is that strategy related to Flintknapping now? It could be, yes. Thought processes? Yeah, I suppose. I don't like it. I don't like the crack. I like everything else. I just don't like that crack. Yeah. Yeah, Mike, let me know if I promised this to you, because I don't remember if you wanted something made from this flint ridge. If not, this is going in the auction. Yeah, it's going in the auction as a thick point. Ouch, this side is ugly. This edge is ugly on this side. Don't look at it. Mike's going, oh, I'll make an excuse. Yeah, definitely I said there was going to be a trade for this. Yeah, definitely. That's what I get for not having good memory. Yeah, I don't see it in the emails. Yeah, but we decided on it. Like we kind of shook hands over it. It wasn't in the emails. You know, so to speak. It's verbal. Oh, okay. I don't think we talked on the phone. That's a good point. Okay. Yes, yes. Yeah, see, these are relatively easy peasy flakes. There's no long distances. There's no really heavy duty forces going on. I mean, no striking forces that rattle your teeth. Because I do those sometimes. In fact, I'm underpowering a lot of these strikes. Where I know it's probably not going to do, one of those long, nice flakes. But it's okay. Even though I might want a long, nice flake there, I'll underpower the strike and I'll just live with what I get. but I'm not underpowering it to the extent that it'll cause a step fracture. See, there's little subtleties, little tweaks, little Goldilocks zones between hitting too hard and not hard enough. And then you got some wiggle room in there between hitting too hard and not hard enough. You got wiggle room in there, just a little bit. Does it require some conscious thought to negotiate the wiggle room? Yep, a little bit of conscious thought. That's why sometimes I don't speak during some of the strikes that require just little variations to get them right. There is some conscious thought in there. But too many of those, and start to get brain fatigue, start to get tired of it. Okay, that's hit number 427 of the thinking about it a lot. Started to get tired, dude. I'm your brain. Take it easy on me. Carrying too much of a heavy load. Yeah. You don't get that? Lucky. Flintknapping for me is almost like reading. Reading is an uphill battle for me. That's why I listen to audiobooks. When I say I read a lot of books, that means I listen to a lot of books. Although I will read some sometimes. But yeah, it's an uphill battle. I was thinking about it the other day. I said I've read over at least 100 books on ethics. I was thinking about that. Can I name them all? And then I realized, I probably have not read that many books on ethics. To get up to 100, I would have to include articles, essays, and short works in with the books. I think I could name like between 30 and 40 actual books that contain ethics or are devoted to ethics, or they have major chapters in there, and ethics are not just interspersed. But if I include all the books that contain at least a little bit of the ethics explanations and not explanations, but a little bit of the ethics thoughts on ethics, then yeah, it gets up near 100 or more. I've read a lot of books, or listened to a lot of them. Yeah, ever since I got my Audible membership. And I also listen to books on YouTube. Yeah. After I got past 200, I stopped counting. After I got past 200 books, I stopped counting. There, yeah, various topics. But very few books that are fiction. Yeah, I don't like fiction. Stories that are not true, even though they might be written well, they don't hold my interest for very long. That's why I watch movies. Movies hold my interest longer than a book. A fiction movie holds my interest longer, much longer. I think. Movie's only an hour or two. Maybe it's about the same. Oh, it hits that crack. Yeah. I don't know. Should I try to go thinner? No. Nope. No sweat stage. So far, it's been straightforward. Just easy peasy. There's been some disappointments, like right here. It didn't look like it would stop. Not really. Too bad you can't put the flake back on there, huh? Yeah. I don't know where that flake went, and I'm not going to go looking for it. I could do a big flake that way, but it might dive in and take that whole side off. If I do a powerful flake this way, it could just dive by coincidence just before that, and then catch that crack and then open the whole thing up. Take off everything from that crack over. If I shoot a flake from this side, if I shoot it along the length of the crack from like right here or something, maybe it'll get thinner. But that's a long flake. Shoot one in this direction. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I don't like that step fracture. I don't like it. A little bit of metal marks. Yeah, Flint Ridge, you can see the metal marks right away. Yep. Oh well. There's no cracks here. I can take that lump out. Relatively easy peasy. I was reading something or listening to a video on ADHD, how to overcome ADHD. There's all kinds of workarounds and stuff. People have figured out. And you know, you got to have some purpose to your life in order for your activities to feel fun or satisfying. If you're working toward a goal or a purpose, or you know why you're doing something, and it's not just because you have to or whatever. If there's something that means something to you, much easier. But I think that's true of anybody. But anyway, I was thinking, for me, that can change on a daily basis. If it means something one day, it may mean something else the next day. It could change. The meaning of the reason why I'm doing it could change day to day. It's not a constant thing. Sometimes I forget why I'm doing things. And then I write it down and look at it and I'm going, no, I think my motivation today is not that. I got some other motivations that are making me do it. Or that I feel good about doing it. It's not that anymore. Yeah. So what can I think about that's constant that keep me interested? The only thing that I've come up with is just add some humor. Yeah. Add some humor. Now, if you got a serious job, that it would look very insensitive or callous to be smiling or laughing or something during your job. Yeah, don't add the humor in. Don't be giggling while someone is gasping for breath and you need to give CPR and you just, giggling away because you're having fun at your job. No. Gotta be smart about it. But yeah, that's the only workaround that I found that's consistent. Humor. Add some humor into it. If you have to laugh after hours or unwind with humor after hours, that's probably best. You don't want to look callous or insensitive. Yeah. But that's it. Yeah, with me, the motivation and the meaning can change. The moral of the story is, yeah, you can change up the jokes, but the humor itself is what's consistent. And humor is the best cure for depression. If you don't have a sense of humor, hopefully you don't get depressed, because then you'll be in a world of hurting. Yes, and never be able to get out. I don't think. It'd be terrible. Then maybe in that case, the meaning is the only thing you got. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not in that situation, luckily. All right, so I've got as far as I can go without stressing. Yes? I can do a little bit more without stressing. None of this stuff has been stressful so far. Because as you can see, the width to thickness ratio is probably not better than 5 to 1. It's probably like 4 to 1. Well, maybe 5 to 1. Anything 6 to 1 or better starts getting very stressful. And you get into a sweat stage. Yeah, when it's thick, that's the closest I've ever come to actually enjoying the flint knapping. When I just leave it thick and just do a lot of trimming, that's about it. Yeah, just trimming here and there. That's it. Just keep picking at it. Which side needs it? This side needs some uncracklifying. That's still crackly right there. I don't know what to do about that. That's right on the crack. I could do what I did on this side and just try to power through it, but that was luck. I don't know if I should push my luck. Yeah. One thing about flint ridge is I can shape with the abrader really easily. Yeah. If I want to symmetritize it, I just hit it with the abrader. Literally hit it with the abrader. It's starting to get dark and that cold air is starting to blow in. Feels good. But I gotta close the door or put on the sweater or do something. It went from like 80 degrees in here to... It was an even 80 degrees a little while ago, maybe an hour ago. Or maybe a little bit more. Hour and 15 minutes ago. Right now it's 59. It dropped 20 degrees in less than 2 hours. That was a hard hit. Didn't go anywhere. Yeah, it didn't seem to go nowhere. Double negative. Didn't go nowhere. It tried to. I don't know if I should push the limits of the thinness. No, I told myself I'm not going to sweat it. I'm not going to do any sweat stage work on this. So I'm not going to do any sweat stage work. Everything's going to be relatively simple strikes. Even that hard strike just then, it was relatively simple. I didn't expect much. Yeah, relatively simple stuff. I think I remember this side looking better than this side. But now this side looks better than that side. Right? Yes? I think it switched. It switched up on me. It's sneaky. How'd that happen? I don't know. I gotta wrap this up soon. Or I'll do a part 1 and part 2. Yeah. I'll do a part 2. Just for you. Yeah, they didn't do much. I mean, it made it look a little bit less lumpy, but I don't know about making it look prettier. That one made it look a little prettier, but that crack, dang, that's a big blemish. Yeah. But I don't know, I think it's sufficient. Even with the blemish in there, there's nothing I can do about that. No. I just leave it in there. Yeah. Yeah. I just leave it in there. Sharpen it up on the next video. As long as I don't drop it. Did I drop it? No, that was not a drop, okay? That was just a quick displacement. Yeah. All my tools are laying right down on where I was not even following my own rules about moving the tools. I broke the rules and didn't move the tools. It's getting too comfortable because it was actually enjoyable. Yeah. I forget about my tools down there. If you don't know, you can drop this on your tools and it'll ruin your day. Something will break. The tip or the base or snap in half. So far, that's what I got. What is the ratio, the length and the width and the weight? Should I weigh it? I didn't weigh it to start with, so you had luck on that one. 5 3/8. It was like 6. 5 3/8. 2 3/8. Now do the millimeter so we can do the width to thickness ratio. Let's see, this is the width right there. 60 millimeter. And then the widest part is right there. It's like a 10 millimeter. 6:1. Yeah. But I've seen you go through the switch stage at 6:1. So, what's up with that? Yeah, I have gone through switch stages at 6:1, but this one was, these flakes run pretty good. So it wasn't stressful. It's more stressful when the flakes don't want to run, or they're starting to dive, or they get all too wavy and it doesn't look right. The surface doesn't look all that smooth. Like when it gets too wavy in the middle, and you get a lot of chatter in the middle, but there's hardly any chatter. Yeah, it's not that stressful. 6:1, perfect. Yeah, okay. Very good. There you go. That's it.